in this video, I'm going to explain how to go from basically having nothing to kind of isolating and starting the new assembly for the 2025 offseason project. Um, yeah, make sure that you have SolidWorks open and that you navigate to the Westwood Robotics shared folder. And then also make sure to go into your files, navigate to whatever folder you're using, and create whatever your, I guess, default directory is. So in my case, I have a folder on a specific drive for various projects for robotics. If you're using a school computer, this would be your OneDrive, and you can create a folder in there for 2025 postseason or 2026 off season or 2025 off season, depending on your preference. Um, for naming convention purposes, we will be calling this robot Hawaiian shaved ice in honor of 359 and the Hawaiian Kids, the team that we named it after. And so you can save that directory there. Um, yeah. And so this is where all your files will go, your main assembly, and all the other things that you're as so you're as organized as possible. Um, so yeah. In order to actually obtain the chassis, which is the starting thing, kind of your building block, you're going to go to the Westwood Robotics shared folder. If you don't have this, ask Mr. Jacobs for a link. Click on the 17 off-season folder, 2026 design, and then you can go here into Sub-Zero CAD. I don't think there should be any more folders. It may just be this one. You can click in here, and then there should be this Sub-Zero 2478 2025b.zip. Go ahead and download it, and then can't scan file for viruses. It's just saying that it's a large file, so it's not able to scan it. This is a trustworthy file, so you can go ahead and download it anyways. Um, yeah, and then it should be downloading. Additionally, this was designed with SOLIDWORKS 2024, so there may be additional things involved. I'm using 2024 currently. Um, so yeah, you can then cut this folder by clicking on this little folder icon. It'll open up your downloads folder. Click on it without renaming it, and just click the little scissors icon to cut it. That way, it gets it out of your downloads folder. Close that, and then paste it in the Hawaiian shaped ice. Um, for organizational purposes, I'm going to be making an imports folder just so that this main folder is staying clear and not cluttering up. We can go into there and then extract all. It'll suggest a default location. Do that for now. You can then take this folder, and we'll be working with this in a second to move it from here to here. But for now, go into that folder, and then what you can do, a quick trick to find the one that we're after, click on size, and then there should be this Sub-Zero 2478 2025b dot solid ASM. That's a SolidWorks assembly file. You can double click it, and it should appear. Yeah, just wait for it to open real quick, and then a couple things to double check. This is all right. This just means that there's probably a part that has some SolidWorks cam data, um, and I have no idea what like parts are. So yeah, you can just click OK. It doesn't actually affect anything. Now something to check would be large assembly settings. You want that turned on because otherwise it is atrocious to try to work with. So make sure to do that. And then we also want these lines so you can actually maintain both of these by navigating over here to this cube and clicking on the shaded with edges option. Now you can see it's buttery smooth, even with your source modules, which are the highly detailed things causing a lot of the lag. Yeah, but Yeah, as you can see, it has an elevator on it. We actually do not need that. If you want to play around this elevator, go for it. It would be this one, but we do not need that, and we also do not want to be in this Sub-Zero 2478-2025B dot SolidWorks assembly file. We want to make our own new file that allows to start over organization. And in that file, we just want the chassis and starting configuration. The reason why you want to have this is because it allows you to see what the legal starting configuration with your specific chassis is. In this case, it's the Quicksilver chassis, which will be used. But if you're making a custom one and it's a different game, this box will change sizes. So keep that in mind. That being said, um, yeah, you can leave this alone and simply click on 00 underscore chassis. You can right click on this, and then just to maintain a sense of orientation, this is the front of the robot, that is the rear. We can click on, you could also do this, but I recommend doing the little telescope. It'll open the sub-assembly in position. Give it a second to load. So as you can see, it's oriented us. So now this is the front, that's the back, but it's a little choppy. As we can see, large assembly settings is turned off. This is something that you may have to do every time, depending on how SolidWorks is set up. I personally do not know how to configure this other than by saving it and exporting it with that option selected. Something about the Sword modules, though, seems to ignore that completely. Um, yeah, and so as you can see, you have a couple different parts in here. You have a plane. This plane simply defines theoretically what should be the ground. This is an old chassis though. Um, so ultimately it's set to the height of this by, I believe, a 3.75 offset, um, which is the default for basically this bottom surface right here to the bottom of the wheel. Um, According to the Swerve Dice Specialties documentation. That being said, we don't really need that, so it doesn't matter too much. This local circular pattern is also to um, make it easier to edit things. You have these chassis spacers, this specific part, aluminum belly pan half, which is the belly pan that you can find on Quicksilver, and then an SCS module, and then the other one of these. So now we basically just want to have this by itself in its own assembly. So what we can do, make sure to save that asterisk, make that asterisk go away, and then navigate to this little section right here. Depending on how SolidWorks is set up for you, it may not appear um, there. It might be over here, or it could be over there. But find the icons that have like the home, the little piece of paper, the folder, the floppy disk, and the printer, as well as some other controls. Once you found it, click on New, and then Make Assembly from Part slash Assembly. What this is going to do is it'll allow us to just use this chassis. Make sure to turn that on. It allows us to use this chassis to make your basically the new brand new assembly, and this will become your main file. So what we'll do now is save this. And as you can see, we're in the imports folder currently in the Sub-Zero folder. You can click on the Hawaiian shaved ice, and this one will be the main, so you can just call it main. Um, yeah, you can just call it main however you want. Um, Adding a name would be preferable, so we're going to call this robot HSI or Hawaiian shaved ice. Make sure to not include any spaces, as that can cause issues with exporting. Yeah, and also with some computers that may not be possible, especially if you're using like Windows 10. Windows 11 is capable of handling spaces, but that's not a guarantee with all computers. Um, So using underscores is a great way to do that, as long as you have main and then the dot solid assembly. But you could delete this; it'll automatically fill it in, so it doesn't really matter. And this can just be in the Hawaiian Shave Ice folder. Click save, and now you have your new main file. Um, this will not have any individual components, with a couple of exceptions, which I'll go over. It'll just have your sub-assemblies, however many of them there are, um, as well as which call as well as yeah those additional few parts. One of which we will add to the assembly. Um, in order to do so, we're just going to click on the Insert Components um, tab up there, and you could go browse, but we know that the part that we want is in this folder, and it's this thing called starting config, which is your starting configuration. One shortcut that you can do is you can simply open it. Um, yeah, it will be opaque in here. That's totally fine. Um, yeah, this makes it easier to mate to other components. Yeah. And so as you can see, navigate back to main Hawaiian shaped ice, or whatever you called it. And then now we can click on insert components again, starting config is present. And while you could just do that and it may work, um, don't do that. Drop it in as you would any normal part. You can move it around and stuff. And then, um, yeah. And then you can mate it to various things. The bottom will be easier to do. Um, and basically same thing. It's the same thing as what theoretically that ground plane should be 3.75 from this specific top surface right here. It is not this one, it is this one. And then you can hold shift, click on this bottom face. When you release shift, if you're careful and you move your mouse, you have the mate options right here. If not, and it disappeared for some reason, um, you can go over here to the mate tab up in the top left, and it'll default to this thing, which is coincident. That just means that they're um, like on the same plane, kind of. Um, we don't want to do that. We want a distance mate, and we want it in the right direction. As we can see, it is currently in the right direction, so we don't have to invert it. So you could do 3.75, and then just do a visual check. That looks about right. But let's say that it was in the wrong direction. It was over here theoretically. One thing that you can do is you can do negative. Just kidding. You basically just click this flip dimension button um, right here. It's not doing it for some reason. You can click negative. Never mind. Click this one. Just kidding. You can click this check mark. No, you can't. I don't know what the heck is going on. Okay. We're gonna retry this. Let's say it's like this, and it's on the wrong side. Well, highlight the two using the shift, and then mate, click on distance, and then do your 3.75. All right, check it. It's definitely not right. You can then click on flip dimension. It probably only works once, and then that. And now you're in just the regular mate tab. The nice thing about this is you don't even have to hold down shift. You can simply just click on that, and then click on this one and this one. Make sure that you're selecting the face and not like a hole or something like that, which could complicate things. You can then click this green check mark or this. Don't click the undo. So I usually just click the green, or you can, or in some cases, you can just do enter. So yeah, and now you have this box, but it's kind of blocking your view of what's inside, which is not very helpful. Um, so what we're gonna do now is change the transparency. The way that you do that, if it's like this, you're just gonna hover over it, right click, and then navigate over to this little thing. It should have like an eye and a little block. You can just click on that, It's not the hide components one, it's the change transparency. And now you have um, your starting configuration. Keep in mind, if you try to make two subassemblies, let's say we want to select, you know, this one, this face, and then we'll do the face on this one. Um, it actually will highlight the transparent one. Um, and so we'll revisit that later. But basically, if that ever happens and you just need it to go away, you can just click on the hide components and it'll disappear. Um, yeah, always make sure to locate where it is though in your folder uh, or in the little tree. It should be at the bottom. And remember, this is in main. So yeah, you can reshow it if you hit it, and then always make sure to save, 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 save. As you can see, the asterisk went away. That's how we know it's saved. And you now have the drivetrain set up for the next couple of steps.